Here's our daily review for Monday. First question says, which expressions could be used to find the product of 30 times 8? So first we have to know what 30 times 8 equals, because then we're going to solve A, B, and C to see if it equals the same thing. So to solve it, I can cover up the 0. 8 times 3 is 24 with a 0 on the end. Okay? Let's say I didn't know my multiplication facts. I could do a strategy called the dot line method, where I draw 8 dots and 3 lines. And then I count, and this is going to give me my answer to 8 times 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Another strategy, if you don't know your multiplication facts, a dot line method can help. So this is 8 times 1, 8 times 2, and 8 times 3, which is 24. So we're trying to figure out which one of these equals 240. So when we go to group these numbers, it's kind of like the associative property where you're going to group what's easiest for your brain to solve. So we have 8 times 3 times 10. So I'm going to group 3 times 10 because I can solve that very quickly in my head, which would be 30. And then that would be 8 times 30. Well, that's going to equal 240 because it's literally the same thing. So that has the same product. Now I'm going to go to B. 30 times 5 times 3. What do you think we're going to group together? What's the easiest for you to solve? For me, it's 5 times 3. So that's 15. 30 times 15 is not going to give me the same answer as 8 times 30. So I can eliminate that. Now, 2 times 5 times 3 times 8. We're going to group these together of what's easiest to solve. 5 times 2 is 10. 8 times 3 is 24. Let's solve that out. Cover up my 0. 24 times 1 is 24. With a 0 on the end, that's 240. I knew there was more than one answer because it says, which expressions? Next question. Which of the following problems will have a quotient of 8? So quotient is a key word that means the answer to a division problem. So I've got to solve A, B, C, and D. Now, I don't have to use long division or partial quotients or the traditional method to solve these because hopefully these are quick facts for you. So you're trying to think what times your divisor will give you 32. And that's how they're a quick fact because it's a fact family. So 32 divided by 4 equals 8. And if we were to continue our dot line method, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, we would see that it has a quotient of 32. So, a product of 32. So 32 divided by 4 equals 8. So that's a possible answer. 24 divided by 8. Well, we actually just solved that here. 24 divided by 8 would be 3. That's not a quotient of 8. 42 divided by 7. What times 7 equals 42? Well, let's think. If you don't know your facts, think of what you do know. What's 7 times 5? 35. We're getting close to that. So let's count on 7 more. 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. So 7 times 6 is 42. So 42 divided by 7 is that other factor we just talked about, 6. So the best answer there is A. Make sure you're showing your work. All right, next question. Which is the best estimate for the quotient? Keyword here, estimate. So we're going to take our dividend and estimate it. 42 is closest to 40. Let's divide. 40 divided by 4 is 10. If we were to solve this the regular way, we would get 10 remainder of 2 because 10 times 4 is 40. Subtract that out. You got 2 left over. So which one of these explains that best? A, close to 5. B, about 12. C, a little more than 10. Your quotient would be described as C, a little more than 10. And hopefully you got that same answer. Next question, word problem. Jack's stamp collection book holds 200 stamps. There are 5 pages. How many are on each of those pages? So, when we're thinking about 200 and having them on 5 pages, you have 200 total, you're passing them out into equal groups. That's division, guys. So, you do 200 divided by 5. Okay, you can do this traditionally, or it might even be a quick fact for some of you. Cover up that 0. Can 5 go into 20? Yeah. How many times? 4. 4 times 5 is 20. Subtract that out. Bring down the 0. How many times can 5 go into 0? 0 times. Subtract that out. And we're done. Our quotient is 40. Social studies. Number 1. At first, the Powhatan Indians traded and helped the settlers. Over time, the Powhatan Indians... So, this is pretty much asking us, how did the relationship between the Powhatans and the settlers change? A. They continued to be good friends and help the settlers. B. They resented the settlers' presence and attacked them. C. They gave land to the settlers and moved away. So let's eliminate ones we know it can't be. I do not think C is a good answer because the Native Americans loved their land and they weren't just going to give it away. So we're between they continued to be good friends or they resented them and attacked them. So let's think about this. The Native Americans are living in the New World. People come over, few at a time, and then they realize more and more people start coming over and pushing the Native Americans out of their land. The Native Americans at first were friendly, but soon they did not like the settlers. So the best answer is B. They resented them. That's a great word to mean they did not like them. They resented them. It's almost like hate. Number 2, what crop became known as green gold because it made money for Jamestown? A, corn, B, beans, C, tobacco. You know this. The cash crop was? Tobacco. Green gold, yeah. Number 3, what Jamestown leader implemented a forced work program in the colony? His motto was, work or starve. Was that A, John Smith, B, John Rolfe, C, King James I? Well, let's think. Who was a strong leader who was actually in the New World? We can eliminate King James. He wasn't even there in Jamestown. It was named after him, but he wasn't there. Was it John Smith or John Rolfe? John Rolfe was the guy who actually founded tobacco and made it a profitable agriculture. He was the one who actually married Pocahontas. But A, John Smith, he was the one who said no work, no eat. Number 4, what year did those Jamestown settlers arrive? 1609, 1607, or 1619? Well, 1619 is when the slaves entered, so it's before that. 1609 or 1607? It's going to be 1607. Here's your homework key, friends.